friends, and welcome back to our homestead. Today's a nice warm day in the middle of February, and I've decided to clean my chicken coop and make sure that they have fresh bedding and everything, and I let them out for free ranging today. So some of them are happy to be out and free ranging, and other chickens are not happy with me right now because I disturbed their day and they're all like screaming at me right now. But anyway, so I'm gonna clean the coop and I want to talk to you guys about utilizing some regular homesteading things to utilize in a chicken coop that are very useful to chickens. So today I want to talk to you guys about using ash in chicken coop. That was heavy. All right, so I dumped it what it should have been on the compost pile, but ended up near the compost pile. It's okay, my husband can fix it with a tractor by lifting it up and put it where it belongs. So I just want to show you two different piles of our manure, or we add compost in here like leaves and food scraps, and that is what we feed our garden with. You will notice that this pile looks pretty fresh, and because it is. We cleaned our goat houses, and that is from November, which is only 3 months long, and it's not ready to be utilized in the garden. But I'm going to turn your attention to the next pile right next to it. Do you see that beautiful black gold? Now that gigantic mountain of black beautiful soil compost is seasoned from last year. So when we clean our goat houses and when we clean chicken houses and pig pen and turkey pen and leaves that we collect in in the lawn and any food scraps that our animals don't want to eat, they all go there, and exactly a year later it's a beautiful black gold that will go in my garden and into my greenhouse, and that is a beautiful growing material. It's amazing, but it starts off looking, let me see if my camera can zoom in, looking like this, which is not ready to go in a garden. Okay, and the reason why it's not ready, because it's too strong and it actually can burn the roots of plants if we use it just like this. It's still pretty fresh, it needs to be seasoned. So when I suggest, when you guys go to a farm to take some manure to be utilized in your garden, it has to sit and season, and it has to be turned. So that's something else, that's a total different topic, but it needs to be turned. And I don't do it manually, we do it with a tractor, and just all we do is like come up with a tractor, we scoop it, flip it, and that's what we do. All right, and then like I said, it turns into this amazing soil that we use for growing. All right. Now it's time to prepare the ash. If you guys can see, the ash here contains some charcoal as well. I don't want to put charcoal necessarily into the chicken coop. I only want to put ash. Okay, so I'm just going to sift it through a little bit the best I can, and use any kind of mesh you have. I just have this old thing I had laying around, and I'm just going to sift out the big pieces of charcoal away from ash. But I've seen people put it even with charcoal, because charcoal is going to help to absorb the odor inside the chicken coop. But ash is amazing, and I like to use ash in the chicken coop because ash is really good in the bathing when they bathe in dust. So I'm going to throw it back into their coop just like this. Having ash in the chicken coop helps the chickens in the bathing process. So when the chickens bathe in a dust, in a dirt bath, or even in an ash bath, and because in the winter, they usually don't free range that much. We usually have snow that covers everything up. So they are stuck indoors a lot and in their outdoor run, but they're not outside. So by bathing in the ash, it helps the chickens to control mites and other bugs that have usually like soft shell bugs that they will be destroyed by the ash. And chickens like to bathe and then they clean themselves. So chickens like that. And so right now when I have clean wood shavings in there, it will mix with wood shavings and it's going to be a perfect bath for the chickens. So it's a good way to keep the odor down, because remember, ammonia begins to build down, especially if there's poor ventilation. I don't know if you guys can see, but I have ventilation holes that we have created on top of the building, the chicken coop, so there's some airflow, and we have an out back little door open as well, so there's continuous airflow going on. Okay, and ash is going to help to keep the odor down and keep the bugs down, so therefore good for the chicken. Win-win. And it's place for us to get rid of our wood ash from the wood stove. So there, I'm going to finish up by giving them fresh water. I'm gonna put their feed back inside, and I also like to add some either straw or just hay on top of the laying boxes, because when chickens create the little nesting box, right, they tend to dig and throw away all of the wood shavings that go into the boxes. But hay stays, and it creates nice little soft nest for their eggs and for the chickens to sit there comfortably. I prefer to use a heated bucket for the winter water, just like this, and it's plugged in and it stays nice and warm throughout the night. It never freezes, and it is insulated cord, so there's little chance of any kind of like fire or anything like that. So we just top it off every day, and when the water gets dirty, we change the water to make sure that the chickens have plenty of clean water every day. And I forgot to record it, but I usually put a little splash of apple cider vinegar in the water as well to keep it clean. So here's a prime example. The chicken, when she went in the nesting box, and she was walking in circles to create a little spot for herself to be comfortable. Lay an egg, girly, lay an egg. Okay. The last thing to do is I'm gonna put their feeder inside the chicken house. And this is the feeder that can be hung, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I have this string that is left over from a hay bale, and I'm gonna attach it to one of their benches where they like to roost. And I like that it hangs. And I'm gonna have, let me see, where is it? I have a little cover. I have a little cover that I usually put on top as well to make sure that when they're roosting, they don't poop inside their feeder. And the reason why I like to hang it up rather than put it on the floor of the chicken coop is because when it's swinging, okay, it's moving, and the feed that's inside will end up on the edges where chickens can easily get to. One of the good things to do for your chickens is to add food grade diatomaceous earth. And I put just a little small amount, okay? And I always make sure that I'm doing this outside, outdoors, when it's not very windy. I like to add a little bit, and I mean a little bit, into their feed, okay? That's it, just a little dusting. And the reason why I like to do that is because it helps to keep the parasites down. All right, if you're noticing that your chicken, see how it's a little bit on the inside now, and it will mix with their feed, and every chicken will get a little bit. When you're noticing that your chickens have dirty butts, like poopy bottoms, that's one of the signs that they could have parasites at this time. And winters are notorious for parasites. So I like to add a little bit into their feed, and it's gonna keep, it's a natural dewormer. It's not gonna hurt chickens. They're gonna take a very small amount, but like I said, it's gonna keep the parasites down. And a happy chicken is a good laying chicken. Okay, one project done, 5,000 more to do on this homestead. So friends, I hope you are encouraged to grow your own chickens for eggs, for meat, whatever you like. And I hope you learned something new today. So friends, be encouraged and try something new.